निपुण भारत, निपुण भारत, निपुण भारत.
What is the base to say? Does the class teacher know which of the student is standing on what level, and how will he be working upon with him to develop his level? We are referring to a textbook and we are explaining the textbook, but using the textbook we do not know on which level certain student is and to which level he is supposed to be taken to. If you want to know about this and you do not want these two examples to be part of education system, then we should be aware about education goals. If we know about the education goals, then we will be in a position to take the students in the right direction, or we can put him in proper process. Do you know who were the first to be given the education goals? If you feel it is the teachers, then the answer is no. Education goals were given in the beginning to the parents. We have received some pamphlets few years ago which were supposed to be distributed to the parents of children throughout the class. We have given to students who gave those pamphlets to their parents. Parents should be aware of education goals. The students should be aware of education goals. Along with this, it is important for the teachers to know about the education goals. After some days, there was a trend that we have to put up the education goals in our classroom as well. Then please tell me, do we keep these in front of us when we are teaching our textbooks? When we put the education goals as our 8, and then you will realize that even the textbooks are not that important. If you want to achieve a certain education goal, then you have the complete freedom to use whichever interaction or method you want. And if you want to complete one of the education goals, then it is not necessary, or rather any chapter from a textbook will not suffice for that education goal. We need to understand the textbook is just a medium. We are not understanding this and we think that textbook is the aim. So we are teaching the textbooks. So if you do not want the above examples in our system, then you need to understand in detail what the education goals are. Is it enough that the teachers understand only the learning outcomes? That will not work. For that, let me tell you another story. You will realize that even after understanding learning outcomes, there is one more thing that is also necessary. You will also understand what that thing is. Let's see, a person has got down on Shivaji Nagar bus stop in Pune. Now he wants to go to Pune studio, and he asks you how can he go to Pune studio. If he asks you for address, how will you tell him the address? You will give details of how you need to go and some landmarks. And you explain how to take left and right at which landmark. So what will that person do? He will take a note of your directions and will keep on walking in that direction. Then he will reach somewhere, look left and say, have I reached Pune studio? Is this what will he do? No, he would not certainly do this. What he would rather do is, he will use the landmarks that you have provided and he will check for those indicators. He will read early in mind what you have told him. I have to turn left at a certain point. Did I take it correctly? Going forward, he will check for another landmark that you had told him. Then he will take right where you asked him to. He will use the indicators to reach his destination. So if someone tells us something and we start running, then we stop somewhere and will guess whether we have reached the correct destination. This process is not right. This is happening only in the education system. We will teach the students for the entire year and then check if the learning destinations have been met. We need to understand that things do not work this way and they will not work this way. So our teachers need to understand that along with learning outcomes, a teacher should also be aware of the education indicators. So you should be aware of learning indicators along with learning outcomes. And learning indicators guide you towards learning outcomes or education goals. So in this example, we have noticed that he has reached Shivaji Nagar and now from here he wants to go to Pune studio. If reaching Pune studio is your learning outcome, then the address markers that you have done in between which are giving you a direction are the learning indicators. So for one of our students, if we have to make him achieve learning outcomes, then we need to keep a check on whether the learning indicators are being followed. The teacher should know about both learning outcomes and learning indicators together. If you are aware of both of these, then you are not the driver of the bus in the previous example. Along with the teacher, the student should also be aware and be explained about both learning outcomes and learning indicators. He should understand that when he reached school at 10 o'clock, then at 5 o'clock, where exactly does he want to reach? If students understand this, then the journey that he is taking in complete darkness can be avoided. You will stop attending school just for the sake of it, and he will actually start learning.